Hello guys, how are you? Finally, we are taking care of this headlight. To remove this headlight to be clear coated, on my case, the factory says remove the entire bumper. For now, I only will lower down the bumper on this side to show you how to do it only on one side, but eventually I will take out the entire bumper because it has to be taken care of also because I have scratches and cracks and some other stuff that is not pretty. And finally, show you how I do it to prep the bumper to be painted, not sand it or something else, but to disassemble it in the way that it can be managed by the body and paint guys, okay? So I will show you step by step how to get to all the stuff that you need to get, like for example raise up the car. I already did some videos for that, for raising and holding the car up, this car in particular, because you have a very sensitive bottom on this car, so I will leave links down on the description to do that. It's easier to remove also the wheels to be able to reach the wheel liners, and in this way try to create a good working area, okay, real high up off the ground. And by the way, what I'm doing here is, while I'm waiting for the AC guy to come and repair my AC compressor, the video will be down on the description below. I'm doing this intro and starting to disassemble, in fact, all of this stuff. After raising the car here, you want to take out the wheel liner, or you can just pull it out to a side. But if you are beginning on this stuff, I recommend you to take out the wheel liner, and also in that way you can inspect for spots of rust. Here in Portugal is not a big thing, but in your country it may be, namely around here. And if it is, you want to take care of that, okay? Do the same thing on the other side. You have a Phillips screw bolt here, another one over here, another one here, there, and another one on a hole inside of here. I will show you in a minute. On the other side of the car, it is exactly the same thing. If you have an original and genuine wheel liner, what you want to do to take it out, instead of pulling it from here, you want to take it out of that space, of that hole, just like so, okay? And on this side, the same thing, like this, and then push it out, or in on this case. And also down here you have a fitment, I'll show you in a minute, and put it like this, always to the inner side, like so. On this side as well, and make sure it stays free and in, and just like so, it's out. So this is the bottom side over there. As you can see, it has a little bit of a grab, and when taking this out, make sure that your clip doesn't fall off. Mine did. Actually, it is the other way around. It is like so, in there. Okay, make sure to do a visual inspection. This rubber over here sometimes falls off. This rubber is still available from factory. In fact, I bought a bunch of them because it is equal on the Alfa 155 and some other models. I already did a video including that information, okay? So I have no rust. So this is Portugal. This is the factory alarm system. Make sure to do a thorough visual inspection. I have my intercooler there with a little bit of humidity, but that is to be expected with all these years. My shocks also have to be replaced. A video for that will be available soon, okay? So on the other side, the same thing. The next thing is to take out the 3 bolts that hold this side of the bumper. One here, one there, another one over here. On the bottom side, you already took out the bolts, because as we took out the bottom engine cover, it is also the same bolts for the lower part of the bumper, okay? On the top part, let's get to it in a minute. And on this side here, you have the same 3 fasteners, but only 2 you have to remove. The third one is a different method. It's just a clip-on thing that you do not need to remove, okay? Let's get to it. Now you have here 3 30 Torx head screws, one there, another one over there, and the third one down there. It is very difficult to see on camera, and very difficult to reach also, so maybe I will not be able to record and take out at the same time. Also, I myself added these large washers because this stops the bumper from sagging too much with age. Okay, this is not from factory, but I recommend you to do this. Also, it allows me to do a better adjustment also of the bumper. Okay, so one over here, recommend you to leave it, and to be the last one to remove. And the third one, it's more difficult. Okay, I can remove it, but maybe you cannot see it. But the access is really not that good. Not terrible, but also not that good. In some gasoline models, the last one over there may be easier to remove because we don't have the oil cooler to deal with. Just have the serpentine tube for the power steering, and here it is, the bolt with the washer that I applied. I know that corrosion may be an issue on your country, so apply a generous amount of anti-seize on the threadings and on the trap nuts, so you don't have any problems with this on the future. In Portugal, it's not really necessary, but I will put it anyway. Now, on these xenon headlights, the factory says in order to replace the lamps, the xenon lamps, you have to do this. You have to take out the entire assembly. Okay, I am able to do that without removing it. It's not easy to do so, but in another video I'll show you a way to do it without removing the headlight or the bumper for that matter. Pay very close attention to this assembly, because on most Alfas 156 you have here a spacer. And you see it over here. You do not want to lose that. That is just for fitment purposes, because you can tune, in fact, you can align the headlight on the machine, of course, but for assembly purposes, this is here, okay? This is actually the same plate that is applied on the bolt that goes to the seats of your car. Now, the next trick is to grab a big screwdriver and push out this fitment over here, just like so. As you can see, you have a spring over here, a plastic one, and you have a dowel pin over there on the headlight that goes later on the assembly. I can try to show you better. It just clips in place, okay? Mine is lubricated, so I have always a perfect disassemble and assemble of the system. Now here the same thing, the washers and the 30 Torx. 1 and 2 only. The third one, it is a 10mm head nut. You do not need to mess with that, because that is the clip that goes to the fender, okay? Just remove these two ones, if it is from factory, of course. Before you remove the bumper, make sure to leave at least 2 bolts over here or there or whatever, to make sure that does not fall off at any time, because you have to be aware of something. Do you have fog lights? Yes, I do. So I have a main plug over here on this side of the car, being left-hand drive. And also I have xenon lamps, so I have washers for the lamps. So I have also here, in my case I do not have anymore the headlight, but I have a hose that I have to disconnect over here. Fortunately, I have room to pull out a little bit the bumper and disconnect this hose, and also on this side to disconnect the main plug for the fog lights. It is not too tight, so they have a little bit of play, of slack, to be able to do so. If you have another person with you, you can ask them to hold on to the bumper while you disconnect the hose over there and the connector for the fog lights over here, okay? On the fog lights themselves, you do not need to remove the connectors. Make sure to have a tray underneath or something, because the water that is inside of the reservoir, that is the same water for the windshield, will come out from the open hose. So here on the bumper, basically what we have to do is to remove everything that it is removable. Even painted parts, like this one, this bezel around the fog light over here. Hello! You have to remove it to be able to be painted underneath that rim over there, okay? So remove this part. I already told you on the video of the fog lights, but I can show you either way how it's done, okay? Take out also the license plate. Here in Portugal you can use the screw with a cap, like you can see over here, or you can use a rivet. If you only use a screw, that is illegal. Also take out here the radiator mesh and the Scudetto over here, that is that grill thins over here, and the headlight washer caps, you also have to remove them. On this side, also remove the fog light and the trim, remove this hole for the tow hook, and also remove here this cap for the washer. On this side, as we have the clip to clip onto the wing over there, make sure also to remove that, because if the painter sees that, he will paint over it for sure. Also back here on the bumper, make sure if possible to remove the tube that goes to the washers, to the headlight washers, and the wiring loom. Make sure to remove it if possible for the body guys to be able to work properly. If it is not possible for some reason, make sure to isolate it so the paint, the overspray does not contaminate all of the elements that you want to protect. Unfortunately, I'm not able to take out the Scudetto over there. You have 6 bolts like this, and you have 6 attachments in the Scudetto, just like so. Okay, and they are spinning inside the Scudetto. I'm trying to make some force to take it out, but it is starting to crack on the bumper, and I don't want to risk it. So they will have to mask up the Scudetto. Also, the headlight washers, the jets over there, they too use this type of screw and bushing, and it too is spinning, and again is starting to crack all the assembly. So I will have to mask up the hole over there and on the jet and on the other side as well. I actually will let the hose over there and ask them to mask everything really well. Also here the clamps, the clips, I could remove it if I was able to remove everything, in that way protecting again also the clips from being oversprayed. I have to do some compromises here because the age of the car, and I don't have the means to repair this if I break something, let alone this way. It's already expensive. Imagine if I have to get the assembly for the jets and everything that is starting to break, and the Scudetto breaking and everything else. Yes, it is getting expensive. If you are able to take out these elements, you will take out basically this set over here, and then you can try to remove it more easily, and then try to apply this again on the parts that you need, and maybe apply a bit of glue or something to make sure not to happen again in the future. And on the inside, on the threading, make sure to apply a lubricant, maybe that ceramic one, the white one that I have in use in a lot of places. Maybe that's a good call there. If you are liking the video so far and if you find this helpful, please consider a monthly help on my Patreon account. The link is down on the description, is also up here on the corner of the screen, and on the end of the video. That little P that appears on the screen right there is also the same link for the same Patreon account. So as you can see over here, the Alfa 156 is almost ready, just the wheel liners to go. As you could saw, the bumper, the front bumper is already in place and everything is connected except the bottom part because of the bottom of the engine cover. And if you have any questions about this assembly or disassembly of this bumper, please leave your comment below, okay? And I will answer you as soon as I can. In order to continue with this project, in order to continue with these repairs and help to grow the channel, please consider the link for the Patreon account. For only €1.5 a month, you can really help the channel grow and in this way increase the quantity and quality of information that I'm providing here for you.